Hey guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Roxanne. We are backstage at Slam Dunk Festival 2024, Honey Revenge's first ever festival, ladies and gentlemen, and they join me now. Hi guys, how we doing?
Hello, I almost got my fingers caught in Donnie's hair and I was flapping like a little bird.
Nice, that'd be a great start to an interview, it's good. So, I saw a little bit in the tent yesterday. I'm going to try and catch more, like, you know, obviously in shows moving forward, but like, nipped out for a little minute. That crowd was huge. They were going for it. First festival, that's got to be a really nice way to kick things off, right?
I'm going to be so honest with you. I showed up and immediately had a freak out panic attack and started crying, like just freaked out. And it was so worth all of that. Once we got on stage, it just kind of came naturally and everyone was so warm to us. But yeah, that was like most definitely the biggest crowd that we've ever played to, for sure.
So nice, man. Guys, you rose to the occasion, clearly. Like, it's so nice to see that this is your vibe, your crowd. I told you this before when we were talking about Slam Dunk. I was like, you're going to come over here and you're going to see, like, oh yeah, this is the kind of kids we see at our shows all the time, but en masse and in a big old field, right?
Absolutely.
You must be feeling kind of home a little bit, I'm guessing, right? Very, very cool to see. Very cool to see. And also exciting, your favorite band ever, Devin, You Me at 6.
I cried again. This has been a weekend of tears. I didn't get to watch their whole set, which then made me cry even harder because I heard them playing Take on the World as we were walking back to the van. But they are playing some of my favorite songs I never thought I would see and probably will never see just living in the U.S., so this was most likely my only opportunity. Every single song I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, right.
There's no way. So yeah, you know I could go on and on about You, Me at 6, but
yeah, it was a hell of a set list last night. I gotta say, another big one again tonight. Also, we should mention, you know, just before this, doing your little UK headline run, which seems to have gone super, super well. Again, getting to play some really cool venues. I love Deaf Institute in Manchester. I love like some really, really cool venues. Yeah, how's that run been for you guys?
It's been awesome. We sold out the entire UK portion of our
Love
tour.
it.
We're about to go to Europe after this. We're on our way to Harlem right after.
Okay.
But the UK has just embraced us. They just really take to us, and it's so sweet and so cool that we're so far away from home, but it still feels like home in my heart. You feel me?
Yeah, that's a nice way to be, first of all. No, very, very cool. No, it's great to see you guys stepping up on those stages for sure, and with a little bit of new music as well. So let's talk about this brand new single. Recipe for Disaster obviously just came out a couple of days ago at the time of recording. Was this like around the album session still? Was this kind of newer thing? When did it come together?
So this was one of the first instrumental ideas that I had for Retrovision, actually.
Okay.
Like I wrote that, I want to say around the time we were messing with different ideas for Distracted, because Distracted had a couple different versions before we landed on the one that came out.
Right.
So Recipe for Disaster, my part of it anyway, started around that same era, so it's very much like a Retrovision song. We just came back with the vocals a little bit later in the process.
Okay, cool.
And I'll give it out to you.
I honestly forgot it was a Retrovision song. Like, we wrote the song and we were kind of figuring out, oh, is this a next album song? Is this something we can maybe extend Retrovision with? And Donnie was the one that was like, no, I fully wrote this for Retrovision. I was like, no, we didn't. And then I checked my voice memos from the original first draft, and it was January of 2023, which is when we wrote Airhead and Worst Apology. So it was, my portion was at the back half of the writing process. And it's really, really cool. This and the next song that we're releasing with the Deluxe re-release is really, really special to me, and I think they're really great ways to close out the Retrovision era.
Yeah, really exciting. Yeah, we should mention that. Obviously, that news kind of came out at the same time as the single. A Deluxe edition is coming, so it's just like a couple of new songs on there.
Yeah, so it's Recipe for Disaster, and then we have a new song called Medicine, both of which some fans will know. I used to write on TikTok Live. I would like ask for ideas.
That's fun.
And kind of like show how I collaborate and kind of explain, because growing up and wanting to learn to songwrite, you kind of don't know where to start, and I think it's really fun to be able to be like, this is why I'm going to use your idea, and here's why your idea doesn't work, you know, because people don't always know. They don't always have their brain wired for that sort of thing, and Medicine and Recipe, the lyrics were both written that way. And then we're going to have 2 re-releases of songs. They're reimagined, kind of like an acoustic stripped-down version of Distracted, and then a reimagined new version of Are You Impressed that's kind of a fresher take on it.
Now, I know you want me to give too much away, but give me a little tease on that reimagine. What's the kind of vibe that we're going on this new version of Are You Impressed?
I think we're kind of testing the waters to see where we're going with the next album. Kind of more a little R&B, I'd say.
Wow.
I know Donnie it's a groovier, and that's you know what we're looking to do.
Interesting.
I have definitely recently discovered R&B and neo soul. And that has completely changed the way that I play guitar and the way that I write music. So it was really cool to just do that for this reimagined version. You feel me? Completely like a new take. It feels like a different song.
I mean, we talked about this before, but like the influence of Issues lives on, right? Being able to bring in some of those kind of R&B elements into the kind of heavier and alternative scene is just like such a smart move. It's good to see more artists kind of do that thing. Beyond that, how much new stuff we got in the locker, guys? Are we already, I mean, clearly you're thinking about where you want to go next.
So if I can count, I want to say there's about 8 new songs just like in the back burner that we're waiting to go back in on when we get home. We do have one actually we worked on with Sky from Issues.
Oh, great.
So the goal
Love
is
Sky, shout out Sky.
No, forever and ever, one of the best in the game. So we're gonna probably go back in with him when we get back, and then yeah, we have a handful. I think we're just like trying to make good songs right now. I think for me, I put a lot of pressure on myself, so I've been trying to loosen that grip a little bit and just go in and write what feels good and not necessarily push myself to any specific expectations. I just want to feel excited about music again, and I think it's really hard to rewire your brain when you've been in a mindset of touring for a year, as like our lives just shifted from basically being a band in a studio to being a touring band.
Yeah.
And it's definitely been hard to get back into the swing of things, and I've had to, you know, re-scratch that creative itch that went numb for a little bit. So yeah, Donnie's always on it with the creativity, but I think my brain's just re-gearing up for album 2.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other side of that with the live show is that, of course, the more shows you play and the more big experiences like this weekend, everything, it's inevitably going to feed back into what you're writing, because you're seeing what works in front of bigger, different crowds and crowds of different places, right? Do you feel that? Is that like a thing? If you're playing these kind of shows, does it actually get you thinking about, oh, that's something I'd like to kind of do more of because it's popping off a little bit?
It does. But in a weird, like, I don't want to do the same thing twice.
No, of course.
You feel me? But it does, like, oh, so people like when we do more riff-based stuff, or oh, these people really like when we write pop songs and give it a little extra energy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's definitely, we're seeing what people dig. We're seeing how different people react, because, like you were talking about the other day, some people come out to our shows and like only know favorite song,
Right,
or like
sure.
they'll only know Airhead, or like they'll only, and they just have such a different perception, such a different such different likes and interests.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool that we're able to hit so many different boxes and it still sound like us.
Yeah, no, that's a really good way of looking at it for sure. It makes a lot of sense. Something we've been asking absolutely everybody here this weekend. It's our go-to festival question. Massive lineup, like we know here. Massive lineup here at Slam Dunk. If you could do a tour or do a collab with anybody that's here this weekend.
That's here this
who would it be
weekend?
that's here this weekend on the lineup.
Okay, Donnie first, because I think mine are kind of obvious, but I want to see
I think we know where you'll go, but yes.
I would like to tour with State Champs.
Yeah! Would be a good fit. I could see
I'm
it.
just saying, and I know the Ghost Inside would never take us out, but I would love to watch them every day.
You never know. We were chatting about this with the Ghost Inside actually yesterday, like of the fact that like they have this position that's really nice where they can fit on loads of different styles of lineups. So like, I don't know, maybe one day.
Obviously, You Me at 6.
Yep.
I mean, it's a given. I love the All-American Rejects and Boys Like Girls. I think they are some of the truest pop rock bands out there. Really excited to check out Pale Waves today. I love the
best.
synth pop goodness of it all. And honestly, RTO, who we just brought out on tour, like I'd love to collab with them. They're self-produced and they're phenomenal.
May I also add Water Parks to the list? I watched them side stage yesterday, and they are incredible.
I don't know how I missed that. I am such an airhead.
Great band, always good. Yeah, it's funny, we chatted with Ray from RTO earlier, and like they said the exact same thing. Like, yeah, you guys have got to get in the studio together, because I think that's another one. When I saw they were supporting you, I was like, oh yeah, that fits. That makes sense. That's a tour we all want to see. Guys, I'm going to go and let you enjoy the rest of your day here at Stand Up. It's always such a pleasure catching up. Congrats on everything. Congrats on the new music. We'll catch up around this Deluxe edition stuff, I'm sure, and hopefully see you back in the UK soon too.
Oh,
we hope to get back over.
Who knows?
Who knows? Oh, who knows? Oh boy. All right, Honey Revenge, everybody.
Bye.